Let's be real for a second. If you've played Ragnarok online for any length of time, you've probably developed a love-hate relationship with it. I know I have. I've been playing this game for over 20 years. Yeah, let that sink in. 20 years of private servers, official launches, renewals, pre-renewals, and mobile spin-offs. In those 2 decades, I've had a front row seat to the absolute wildest publisher behaviors you can imagine. I've seen super hyped, massively populated servers launch with thousands of active players only to completely crash and burn in less than 6 months because the publisher got greedy and choked the economy to death. But I've also seen servers that got it right, finding that perfect holy grail balance between keeping the lights on and keeping the players happy. So when Ragnarok Zero Global was announced as a return to form, bringing back that classic nostalgic vibe, but with modern quality of life improvements, the community was hyped. But then came the kicker, the business model. Gravity decided to go with a hybrid system, a mandatory monthly subscription and an active cash shop. Immediately, the community went to war. Is this a genius move to save the game, or is it just another greedy cash grab? Today, we're going to break down both sides of this argument. I implore the keyboard warriors to hold their comments and dislikes and not to call me dumb without listening to the entire video. Let's start with the subscription. In a world where almost every modern MMO is free to play, making players pay a monthly fee just to log in is a bold move. But is it actually good for the game? The case for the subscription, why it actually makes sense. The anti-bot shield. Let's face it, bots have been the cancer of Ragnarok Online since 2002. They flood the maps, farm rare resources 24/7, and trigger massive hyperinflation that ruins the economy for normal players. By locking the game behind a paid subscription, Gravity raised the barrier to entry. Running a massive bot farm gets incredibly expensive when every single account requires real-world cash just to log in. Say goodbye to RMT, mostly. When you've invested cold, hard cash just to access your account, you think twice before doing something stupid, like buying Zini from illegal third-party sites. The risk of getting banned actually hurts when you have skin in the game. A better, mature vibe. Walled gardens tend to have nicer communities. The people playing Zero Global actually want to be there. You get a community of dedicated, mature players who are committed for the long haul, rather than toxic trolls who just download a free game to ruin someone's day. A fair start. Since everyone is paying the same entry fee, the developers don't have to fill the early game with annoying artificial time gates designed to make you pay to skip them. Everyone starts on the exact same footing. The case against the subscription, the catch, the double dipping. Problem. Let's call a spade a spade. Players don't mind paying a subscription if it means they get the entire game. But paying a monthly fee and seeing a cash shop loaded with gameplay affecting items, that feels dirty. It feels like the publisher is double dipping into your wallet. No fresh blood. If you're a veteran, you get it. But how do you convince a new, younger player to try a 20-year-old game when they have to pay up front just to see the character creation screen? Without a free trial, the game is basically relying entirely on the nostalgia of aging boomers like us. The I have to play pressure. We've all been there. You pay for a month, you have a busy week at work, and suddenly you feel guilty for not logging in because you're wasting money. It turns gaming from a hobby into a chore. Alright, here is where it gets spicy. The subscription is one thing, but the cash shop is where the real drama lives. Let's look at both sides of the coin. The case for the cash shop, the respect my time argument. Keeping the lights on. Let's be realistic. A flat subscription fee covers server costs and basic staff, but it doesn't fund major content updates, anti-cheat updates, and event development. The cash shop is what keeps the developers motivated to actually update the game. Whale subsidization, keeping the lights on. Let's be real for a second. Modern game development and maintenance costs are astronomical. A flat $10 or $15 monthly sub was great in 2004, but in 2026, it barely covers server hosting, anti-cheat licensing, localization, and customer support staff. Not to mention the usual overhead a company needs to cover. The cash shop is a financial stabilizer. It taps into whales, players who are willing to drop hundreds of dollars on convenience and vanity items. These high-spending players basically subsidize the server for everyone else. Their optional purchases fund the development of major content patches, custom events, and balance updates, ensuring the game stays alive and active for the long haul. Without them, the developers would have very little incentive to keep updating the game. The relatable adulting. Time saver. Let's look at the demographics here. The average Ragnarok player today isn't a teenager with a 3-month summer break to sit in a basement farming spores or wolves for 14 hours a day. We're in our 30s and 40s. We have jobs, mortgages, kids, lawns to mow, maybe, just maybe, 3 hours of free time on a Saturday night, but most importantly, we have disposable income. In some cases, lots of it. If spending $5 on some battle manuals or teleport scrolls lets a busy dad actually keep up with his guild and participate in instance dungeons with his buddies, is that really a crime? For a lot of players, the cash shop isn't about paying to win and dominating others. It's a tax they pay to value their time and actually participate in the fun stuff. The symbiotic player-to-player economy. Here's a massive point that a lot of critics gloss over: the symbiotic economy. If, and that's a big if here, cash shop items are tradable, it actually benefits players who refuse to spend a single extra dime beyond their subscription fee. How? A subscription-only player can go out, farm raw materials, sell them for in-game zini, and then use that zini to buy premium cash shop items directly from paying players. The paying player gets the zini they wanted, and the sub-only player gets premium items, cosmetics, or buffs completely for free without spending real money. It creates a beautiful, working ecosystem where time and money can be mutually traded. Crushing the shady black market. Here's something people rarely talk about: the black market. If a game has absolutely zero official ways to buy zini or progress boosts, do players suddenly stop trying to buy them? Absolutely not. They go straight to sketchy third-party gold selling sites. This fuels massive botting operations, credit card fraud, account hacking, and constant gold spam in Frontera. An official cash shop acts as a safety valve. It satisfies that financial demand safely, cuts out the shady black market dealers, protects players from scams, and keeps that sweet revenue inside the game's budget to be reinvested into making the server better. Ragnarok's real endgame: fashion. Let's be honest, the true endgame of Ragnarok Online has always been standing around Frontera looking fabulous. A huge chunk of the cash shop is purely cosmetic: costumes, hairstyles, and cool aura effects. These items don't give you a single point of stat advantage, meaning they have zero impact on PvP or PvE balance. But they allow players to express their style, add variety to the game world so we don't all look like identical cardboard cutouts, and let fashion-hungry players support the game in a completely harmless way. No direct power for sale. Crucially, Gravity didn't go full mobile gacha here. You can't open a loot box to directly pull a +10 ultimate weapon or a rare MVP boss card. The best gear in Ragnarok Zero still requires you to form a party, run the hardest dungeons, defeat the bosses, and rely on in-game drop rates. The cash shop can accelerate your leveling journey and protect your gear upgrades, but the legendary trophies of the game must still be earned through actual gameplay. Furthermore, your real endgame gear in Ragnarok Zero expects to be upgraded to +9 multiple times in order to progress it to its final form. The case against the cash shop, the pay-to-win reality, the refinement, protection racket. Let's talk about the single biggest mechanical crime in Ragnarok Online, the refinement system. Upgrading your weapons and armor is where real character power comes from. In classic RO, refining past the safe limit is the ultimate high-stakes gamble. It's legendary. It cleanses the economy of excess gear and makes a +10 weapon a symbol of pure bravery or insane luck. But when the cash shop sells safety minerals and protection scrolls that prevent your gear from breaking on failure, it ruins the game's risk/reward soul. Gravity basically runs a legal protection racket. They create a painful, punishing system and then sell you the solution to bypass it. Wealthy players can literally credit card their way to +10 gear with minimal risk, creating an unbeatable stat wall that subscription-only players can never cross without risking their entire inventory. Credit card Zini and the labor devaluation theory. Yes, having cash shop items be tradable is convenient for some, but the dark side of this is how it absolutely devalues the labor theory of value. Let's say a dedicated subscription player spends 40 hours farming rare materials to buy a cool costume or ore from another player. Meanwhile, a whale opens their wallet, buys 10 premium items in 3 seconds, sells them on the market, and instantly makes more Zini than that grinder did in a month. This means real-world money completely overshadows in-game effort. It turns the game into a second job where your manual labor is valued at like 10 cents an hour. This massive injection of credit card Zini drives brutal hyperinflation, pricing normal players completely out of the market for top-tier gear and boss cards. The WoE consumable, Arms Race, the War of Imperium, is the crown jewel of Ragnarok. It's supposed to be a battlefield of tactical coordination, split-second execution, and team synergy. But when the cash shop sells high-tier combat consumables, like premium HP/SP potions that weigh almost nothing, and high-potency stat-boosting foods, it ruins the competitive integrity. If one guild mandates that its members spend real money to run these premium buffs and spammable pots, they hold an overwhelming stat advantage over a guild relying purely on in-game craftables. It turns a beautiful, tactical guild war into a financial arms race. The winner isn't the guild with the best strategy, it's the guild with the deepest pockets. The boiling frog syndrome, monetization creep. If you followed Gravity's history, you know they are masters of the boiling frog technique. They launch a server with a mostly harmless cash shop. Just a few cute hats, some EXP books, nothing crazy. They get us hooked under the promise of a balanced, subscription-locked return to roots. But slowly, patch by patch, update by update, they turn up the heat. They introduce stronger safety ores, then exclusive cash-only shadow gear, and eventually, full-blown gacha boxes. Veterans have been burned by this exact playbook on almost every official server launch. The hybrid model is a slippery slope, and the presence of a cash shop at launch is basically the gateway drug for aggressive monetization creep down the line. the death of the casual hardcore bridge. In the golden era of Ragnarok, a dedicated casual player could bridge the gap with hardcore players through smart trading, hunting rare card drops, or pure in-game intelligence. But when real money enters the game design as a multiplier, that bridge is burned. You cannot outplan, outfarm, or outluck a credit card. When a casual player realizes that no matter how hard they grind, a whale can buy their way to a year's worth of progress in an afternoon, they lose the motivation to play. This eventually kills the server, leaving only a small circle of whales standing in an empty, lifeless frontera. So, where does that leave us? Is Ragnarok Zero Global actually pay to win? Well, the truth is, it's complicated. It sits squarely in a gray zone. You can't directly buy victory, but you can certainly buy a massive, undeniable head start and safety net that normal players just can't match. But ultimately, here is my honest take. Both sides of this argument actually need each other, and both have extremely valid points. We absolutely need the pro cash shop crowd. Without them, the game would become impossibly grindy, tedious, and honestly, a bit boring for anyone who doesn't have 40 hours a week to dedicate to it. They keep the servers funded, they respect the reality of adult gaming, and they keep the lights on for the rest of us. But at the same time, we desperately need the anti-cash shop crowd. They are the frontline defense. They are the ones holding the line, calling out publisher greed, and keeping the company from going too far and turning our beloved world into a predatory mobile cash grab. In a weird way, the health of Ragnarok Zero Global depends on the constant tension between these two groups. It's a delicate balancing act, and only time will tell if gravity can walk the tightrope. But hey, that's just my take after 20 years of watching this game evolve. What do you guys think? Do you agree that we need both sides to keep the game alive and fair? Or do you think one side is completely in the wrong? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more Ragnarok Zero breakdowns and content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.